Buckle up, folks. This is gonna be a journey. If you like the jibber jabber videos, this is gonna be fun. I made Trace Meatloaves. What is Trace Meatloaves? That's a Chorizo Chipotle meatloaf. That is a meatloaf a la casalinga. Yes, I speak a little Italian. That was all of it, by the way. Don't test me any further. And that is a bacon wrapped country meatloaf. Do you want to see how to do all three? Because I did all three. I did cook them at the same time, did all this stuff. I'm going to show you the differences, all the things that go into it and everything. And you're going to see that here coming up in about 4 seconds because we're getting into this because this is one hell of a journey. And you're going to love every minute of it, I promise. So let's get started making this. There's a bunch of ingredients that goes into our meatloaf, so we're going to use a food processor to make this faster. Got a couple slices of sourdough bread. It's going to make amazing breadcrumbs for this. Just chop this up until you get these nice fine breadcrumbs, and then we're going to take half a stalk of celery, a whole carrot, just throw it in here, and get that nice and minced up really nice. We've got a whole yellow onion going in here. We're again going to whirl that thing until we get a nice, really small bits of that. We're going to start cooking this. So we've got a quarter cup of that onion. We've got our celery and our carrots going in here to a pan. We got a little oil in the pan. We're going to brown this off for a couple of minutes because brown food tastes better. I do not recommend using raw vegetables for this. So we got salt and pepper. We've got a couple cloves of garlic going in. Again, just cook this down. It'll be perfect. We're going to put this in a bowl because you have to cool this down before it goes in the meatloaf because there's a raw egg in there. If you put hot vegetables in, you'll have scrambled eggs. So was chorizo. It's our next meatloaf. So we are going to work on cooking up a package of chorizo here. This beef chorizo, it's extra fatty. That presents some opportunities and some challenges. So you've got to separate the grease out of this once this is cooked. It'll cook off about 5-7 minutes, something like that. Medium heat. When it gets to this point, you're going to want to try and drain it. So I'd lean the pan up on the side of the stove and just kind of move the meat up to the top and the grease to the bottom and siphon that off. And again, this needs to be cool before we put it in the meatloaf. So let's get started assembling our country meatloaf here. So this is just a traditional meatloaf. We've got 1 egg because we're using 1 pound. These are mini meatloafs. So we've got 1 egg. We've got half a cup of breadcrumbs. We've got 3 tablespoons of milk. We've got our vegetable mixture that we browned off. We've got some ketchup. We've got some Worcestershire sauce. We've got a pound of ground beef. All the ingredients and all this, the whole recipe is going to be down in the description for that. But yeah, basically mix that up really good. Take some plastic wrap, some bacon, about 6 slices ought to do it if it's good sized bacon. Roll your meatloaf up into a ball, throw it down, and make a beautiful little loaf there sort of thing. Now we're going to take the plastic wrap over the top and just kind of roll this as tight as we can. We want to make a roll for this because we are not using any kind of sort of a pan or anything like that. If you want to put this in a pan, feel free to do so. But this is my favorite way of making meatloaf because you don't have to clean the pan. And it automatically drains the grease. So just roll that up really, really tight, spin the ends, and stick that in the fridge 2 to 3 hours or overnight. Okay, so let's move on to our Chorizo Chipotle meatloaf here. I've got about a teaspoon of the Maggi seasoning. The stuff is awesome. It gives a really great beefy flavor. We got 1 egg because we're still making a 1 pound meatloaf. It's 1 egg per pound basically with this. We've got a half a cup of our breadcrumbs that we made earlier. 3 tablespoons of milk, which makes the panade, which helps lock everything together. That's the binder that makes it a loaf, not a crumble. We've got a quarter cup of raw minced onions. We've got half a can of green diced chilies in this. That's really awesome. We're salt and peppering this because we had salt and peppered the carrots mixture earlier, but this didn't get that, so we're doing it there. I've got a couple cloves of roasted garlic here. This isn't raw garlic. Just mince that up real fine. Put that in your meatloaf mixture right there. Make sure you get it all because why not? It's flavor. We have a chipotle here, a jar or can, a little bit of the adobo. Put that in there. Mince it up super fine if you can. We've got about a tablespoon of tomato paste going in this as well. Just mix that up really, really good. Now we are going to take a 1/4 pound of chorizo and 3/4 of a pound of ground beef. We're going to mix that up. I love using a fork because it doesn't smash the meatloaf as much. It just gets it all mixed. Now we've got our plastic wrap. Again, we're kind of loafing this thing out one more time. And we are going to do the same technique of just rolling this. Keep it tight. Keep your hands down over the front edge. Keep it really, really tight until you get it into that shape. Continue to roll it. Spin the ends like that. It comes together, forces it together. Stick it in the fridge 2 to 3 hours. All right, the meatloaf a la casalinga. Oh, this is my favorite one here. This is basically just like a giant meatball loaf. So we've got some basil, give it a chiffonade. We've got some fresh oregano. You can always use dry herbs if you want. Again, the 1 egg, because it's 1 pound. We've got our 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, 3 tablespoons of milk. It's the standard panade thing. We've got a couple more cloves of garlic here. This is roasted garlic again, not raw garlic. Just roast it in the oven. We've got some onion going in that. We've got a couple tablespoons of marinara sauce. It's just a jar. I have 1 cup, a whole cup, almost a whole cup of Romano and Parmesan cheese that I shredded up. Some more salt and pepper. Just mix that up super, super good. And we have 1/4 of a pound of Italian sausage going in this and 3/4 of a pound of ground beef. Break up the Italian sausage because it really sticks together in clumps. And we're going to do the same rolling techniques once that's all mixed together. We're going to take our big meatloaf meatball here, and we are going to put this on the plastic wrap, kind of loaf it out one more time. You get kind of the general shape. Pull the plastic over the top of it like this. Get your hand down in front of it to pull it super tight as you pull the plastic wrap away from you, and that gets you that nice roll. Roll it up 2 to 3 hours in the fridge, and she's done. Once those are done, we are going to throw them in the oven. I've got a half baking sheet here with some parchment paper on it. It is important to put this on parchment paper. This doesn't really work that great any other ways. Because we got this nice and cold, this stays together beautifully. That's the reason why this has to go in the fridge for a couple hours. Overnight really is best, but just cut the plastic wrap off, and this is going in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes, 35 minutes. Then we're going to put our glaze on here. I can't tell you what the glazes are in this amount of time, but we're going to put the glaze on, give it about 15 more minutes at 400 degrees, and these things are done. Recipe for the glaze is in the description. Each one is unique, but they're all ketchup-based because it is meatloaf after all. I don't know if you happen to notice, but there's 3 meatloafs sitting here. I have my thermolapilator sitting here, and we're going to just check. We're 180 on that one, okay? She's a little higher. That's about 180. This one's a little lower. She's about 170. That's what we were trying to catch. Is this guy, because it's bacon wrapped, it's a little bit bigger, takes a little bit longer. What are you going to do? 180 is still respectable. 165 is the minimum. 180 is really about where you want to be. This is going to sit because right now these things are nuclear hot and they are crumbly as all heck. I'm going to drain off some of this fat. There's a lot of fat here. I'm going to drain some of this off, and these are going to sit and cool just for like 15 minutes, and then I'll be back. All right, sports fans, it's been a wild ride getting here. This video's all over the place, but I'm doing Trace Meatloaves, and I don't know if there's any sane way to do this. There you go. Don't let this video be used as evidence at my trial, because meatloaf will make anybody crazy, right? Anybody. 3 meatloafs? 3 meatloafs will drive you absolutely nuts. And these 3 meatloafs are amazing. I love the fact, I don't know if you can, the camera's picking this up or if it's angled. It looks like it is. Okay, I got a little screen on my little camera here now. It's cool. Anyways, we have the little, the middle, and the big. This is our chorizo meatloaf. That's our meatloaf a la casalinga. And that is country meatloaf wrapped in bacon. And I'm excited as hell. Let's get them up here on the board, cut into them, look at it, take some samples, and taste them. And then you can go back to your life, and so can I. By the way, little birdie told me that there was a plan for these meatloafs. You might want to stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed to this channel and you haven't hit the notification bell, you might just want to do that, because there is something in store for these 3 meatloafs you're going to want to see. Teaser. Sorry. Gotta do it. I've been trying to learn the YouTube's thing, and apparently I'm supposed to be a jerk and be like, ha ha, you don't know what's coming up, but you gotta, I don't want to do that. But apparently we're supposed to. It's the law. So I'm gonna try and get this sucker off of here. Now, we're understanding why that parchment paper is our friend. Do you see that? You see that right there? That is why parchment paper is your friend. You don't put this on foil. Foil will not allow that sort of thing. Ugh, you do not want to eat this. That ain't part of it. That's the goo. So I'm gonna de-goo this guy before we do that. Don't eat that part. Don't bet your buddy to eat that part. Don't do that. You're not a good friend. Okay, we are going back under here. We are picking her up. Ooh, we're setting her down. We're getting the goo off of this side. Yep. Don't eat that, please. All right, and quick prayer to the meatloaf gods that I get this guy. It's the big one. It's the one we've all been waiting for. I'm freaking excited as hell. Oh my God, I did it. Thank you, folks. That's the end of this channel. I don't think I'll ever achieve anything as great as this ever again. And on a high note, thank you. It's been a great journey, and I will bid you adieu. I'm just kidding. Now I'm getting cocky. If I could pull that off, whew, this is pretty much my most ambitious cook yet. I think maybe Thanksgiving thing was a little bit more ambitious, but you didn't see it that way because I broke it all up. You're welcome. But this might be my biggest thing. I don't have a very big kitchen. This kitchen doesn't multitask. So I'm going to take this. I have asbestos fingers. I'm going to put some salve on that later. It'll be fine. I didn't even need that guy. Wow, just throw things. It's your kitchen, you can do it. Plus, it scares the hell out of the kids. Isn't that pretty much the goal? They can either respect you or they can fear you. Or they can do both. I mean, it's up to you. But I'm going to cut these guys in half. I'm going to not cut it at like perfect half. I'm going to, yeah. Oh, she looks so pretty. Oh, she looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to show you that in a second because I have 2 more meatloaves to cut. Yep. Ooh, this one's taking a little bit of... That one went through really easy. This one... You're going to want to see that. Stick around. You're going to want to see that. I can tell you that much. Okay, this guy... That's the one we've all been waiting for, isn't it? We are just going to give this a cut. Try not to tear the bacon off because bacon... I'm going to cry a little bit because damn, those are pretty and this was all worth it and all the effort. And if you're making this soon, you're going to have this exact same moment of joy and pride. You deserve this in your life. You really, really do, because eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I'm going to eat them all. What am I going to do? I'm grabbing a fork. Hang on a second. I found one of these. This'll work. Those are too pretty. I'm not touching those. I'm going in here. Second row. I'm going for the chorizo first because, come on, man. That's the one we all want, right? Come on. Let's be honest. Am I supposed to say words now? Because I don't think I can. Oh, it's so... Oh... Oh, okay. Meatloaf a la casalinga. They're so radically different from each other. It's so cool. If you have picky eaters, this is the perfect meal because, I mean, spicy, Italian, traditional, bacon and the whole thing. Oh, speaking of bacon, traditional. I'm going to need the knife for this because there's a little bacon on this, and bacon don't tear, bacon cut. So we're going to, gotta get the bacon on it. Come on, little piece of bacon. Come on. Oh. Seriously, why would you ever need another meatloaf recipe? There are dozens of them, but this is fun to make. If you're not trying to film this, it's probably a lot easier than this. You can pull this off. If you have picky eaters, if you're having a dinner party with friends, whatever, you can grill these meatloaves. You can smoke them, something like that. These are amazing. Oh, seriously, the flavors are still settling in, and all the wonderfulness of the. You have got to make this, because this is not only the hardest meal I ever made as far as making a video goes, because of the logistics of it. This may be the best meal I've ever made. Honestly, if you like meatloaf, you owe it to yourself to try the Trace meatloafs and do them all upright. And if you want to see more meatloaf recipes, I can do more. There are literally dozens of these things. But these are 3 of my favorites. There'll be 3 of your favorites, because I'm assuming if you made it this far in this video, you kind of get me a little bit, and we're probably a little more similar than you'd probably like to admit. If so, welcome to the channel, and I hope to see you on the next video, because stuff like this is so much fun to do, and videos like this just, man, they keep me going, because this stuff is amazing. So if you have another meatloaf recipe you want to see me do, or a bunch of different stuff, or you just like, hey, balls to the wall, go for it, I'll come up with something. Just let me know in the comments, because I love the comments. If you hated this video, you managed to watch this entire thing, and you're at this point, and you're like, I hate this guy, leave me that comment. Tell me why. Seriously, I'm not going to argue with you, because you're not wrong. I suck. I'm terrible. My jokes aren't funny, I talk too much, and this video should have been 8 minutes long. It's not, is it? No. So everything you're saying I agree with. So why not leave me that comment, and maybe I'll make an 8-minute video where I don't suck and talk too much. Who knows? It could happen. And if I do, if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you'll know when it comes up. Until then, I hope you have a good one. I hope you make this. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. How would you serve these? Oh, that's a great friggin' question. This guy here, have you seen my Tex-Mex gravy? Go back and find the Tex-Mex Loco Moco video and find the gravy for that. Put the gravy on that sucker. That's great. This right here, marinara. Marinara. Come on. This, brown gravy. That is pretty much the standard for meatloaf, right? Brown gravy. If you just want ketchup, ketchup would be amazing. If you want to put brown gravy on that, go for it. If you want to just put brown gravy on all of them, that's fine. I don't care if you want to just put ketchup on all of them. You can do that. That is up to you and your taste, but I've laid down the base here and given you a pretty good idea of where to go, and the rest is up to you. So what are you going to do with it?